warriors bound to a strict code. Each sword was the soul of its owner. Each katana gave its owner great power. Learning to smelt ore for 3 days, burning away all impurities, learning to heat the iron and folding and refolding the blade, each fold bringing beauty and strength to, and learning how to temper the blade with clay and with water. All may be too slow, and the cutting edge will be soft, and the blade will shatter a done proper. A sword that can cut the clouds in flight.
A katana, or katana, is a Japanese sword characterized by a curved, single-edged blade with a circular or squared guard and long grip to accommodate two hands. Developed later than the tachi, it was used by samurai in feudal Japan and worn with the blade facing upward. Since the Muromachi period, many old tachi were cut from the root and shortened, and the blade at the root was crushed and converted into katana. The official term for katana in Japan is uchigatana, and the term katana often refers to single-edged swords from around the world. The word katana first appears in Japanese in the Nihon Shoki of 720. The term is a compound of kata, one side, one-sided, plus na, blade, in contrast to the double-sided tsurugi. The katana belongs to the Nihonto family of swords, and is distinguished by a blade length, nagasa, of more than 2 shaku, approximately 60 centimeters. Katana are traditionally made from a specialized Japanese steel called tamahagen, which is created from a traditional smelting process that results in several layered steels with different carbon concentrations. This process helps remove impurities and even out the carbon content of the steel. The age of the steel plays a role in the ability to remove impurities, with older steel having a higher oxygen concentration, being more easily stretched and rid of impurities during hammering, resulting in a stronger blade. The smith begins by folding and welding pieces of the steel several times to work out most of the differences in the steel. The resulting block of steel is then drawn out to form a billet. At this stage, it is only slightly curved or may have no curve at all. The katana's gentle curvature is attained by a process of differential hardening or differential quenching. The smith coats the blade with several layers of a wet clay slurry, which is a special concoction unique to each sword maker, but generally composed of clay, water and any or none of ash, grinding stone powder, or rust. This process is called tsushoki. The edge of the blade is coated with a thinner layer than the sides and spine of the sword, heated, and then quenched in water. Few sword makers use oil to quench the blade. The slurry causes only the blade's edge to be hardened and also causes the blade to curve due to the difference in densities of the microstructures in the steel. When steel with a carbon content of 0.7% is heated beyond 750 degrees Celsius, it enters the austenite phase. When austenite is cooled very suddenly by quenching in water, the structure changes into martensite, which is a very hard form of steel. When austenite is allowed to cool slowly, its structure changes into a mixture of ferrite and pearlite, which is softer than martensite. This process also creates the distinct line down the sides of the blade called the amon, which is made distinct by polishing. Each amon and each smith's style of amon is distinct. Example of amon. After the blade is forged, it is then sent to be polished. The polishing takes between 1 and 3 weeks. The polisher uses a series of successively finer grains of polishing stones in a process called glazing, until the blade has a mirror finish. However, the blunt edge of the katana is often given a matte finish to emphasize the amon.